My name's Craig and I'm looking to do a fundraiser for Cancer Research Wales and Velindre Hospital. Unfortunately, we lost my dad to cancer in 2023. Even though it's been 3 years, it's still quite raw. And I've always had this idea of doing a fundraiser, leveraging a photo that my dad took and a Christmas tradition that he had. So my dad was a keen amateur photographer, and he actually took a photo here of the bay in 2004. And the Christmas tradition that he had was something we called the after dinner present, which, as the name says, was a little present that he would give everyone at the Christmas table after we'd had our Christmas dinner, a little present just solely from him, something that he'd picked up on in the year prior. And I'd taken a shine to a photo he'd taken of Cardiff Bay. But more than that, on the back, he'd written a message which said, "To Craig, it'll never be worth $1 million, but you are. Merry Christmas, love, Dad." And I've always sort of, since then, seen that as like a low-key challenge. Now, I know my dad's probably right so far, as in I couldn't sell the photo for £1 million to an individual, but I've come up with a bit of a workaround in order to try and circumnavigate some of the troubles, and that is an art consortium. So my plan is to fundraise with the photograph £1 million jointly for Cancer Research Wales and Velindre, and people can donate money to the art consortium, and then once the £1 million is raised, I'll donate a copy of the photo to both Cancer Research Wales and Velindre with their own personal message. So my plan to raise money and to raise that $1 million was to do some running events mostly. I wanted to do the Super Half series, which are Prague, Berlin, Cardiff, Lisbon, Valencia and Copenhagen, but I've missed the boat for that this year. And then I was also going to convert a van and drive race to race with my dog Shelby. As I say, I've missed the boat this year, so the new looser plan is to still do some races, maybe an ultra and some other shorter races. Still convert the van because I have bought it and began the conversion. And then maybe actually then raffle the van. I'll be completely honest with you. I know that it sounds quite straightforward. People donate to the million. When the million's raised, I donate a photograph. But raising $1 million is a monumental task. Social media is not my forte. It's not something that I'm particularly well versed in. So I'm kind of learning as I go. So anybody that can help with sponsorship, fundraising, sharing on socials, logistics, absolutely anything is just going to be like a massive help. So the conversion, I've already started on converting the van, and I'm probably actually already beyond where I thought or hoped I would be at this point. So I would like to say, being a bit more realistic with my timeline, that I would like to have the van done in, say, 3 months from today, and then I will be looking to do races and probably from summer onwards. So my dad was diagnosed with cancer in early 22, January 2022. He was first sent to A&E in November 2021 as he was having concerns over his health. He was having back pains in his lower back, and they wanted to run some MRI testing. Unfortunately, the first few rounds of testing came back inconclusive. He was then diagnosed with diffuse large B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma in January 2022. He had various treatments over the course of the next year, including quite a long stint in intensive care. In Christmas 2022, my dad was sent to Velindre Hospice for some radiotherapy, and that's why they've been included in the fundraiser, because they actually probably gave us back Christmas. So I think it was the Thursday before. I think Christmas might have been a Saturday that year. On the Thursday before, I actually was in hospital with my dad whilst he was going through the treatment, and I woke up the one morning and I actually thought we'd already lost him because he was completely unresponsive. So they took my dad to Velindre for a bout of radiotherapy, and I think they put him on steroids at the time. And literally within 48 hours, it was a complete U-turn. In fact, my dad phoned me at 6 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Eve, telling me to get him home. I phoned his cancer nurse and just said, look, my dad is asking, he wants to leave the hospital. He said he's feeling much better than himself. And obviously she had seen him in the morning that they sent him to Velindre. And I think that she kind of maybe thought I'd lost my mind a little bit because like the complete U-turn. But yeah, he came home later that day actually, and we had Christmas together, which was obviously, something that we never thought was going to happen that year. So to have my dad home for Christmas in 2022 was fantastic, and that was completely down to the treatment he had at Velindre. So losing my dad made me realise that life can be quite short and to cherish those around you. And if I can use this photograph to raise money for Cancer Research Wales and Velindre so that I can stop others having to go through that, like the trauma of losing somebody close to a disease like cancer. Because I know a lot of people probably realise that cancer affects 1 in 2, but something that I also learned recently is that cancer is the #1 preventable cause of death, and it has been since roughly 2007. So if we can help bring that statistic down and help other people not feel that sense of loss, then that's something that I would like to try and do. So the start of the show by an absolute clear mile is Shelby. He is a Springer Cross. He will be coming with me on the adventures and probably just towards some of the races. He'd like to take part in the races, but I think he's probably going to be banned from that part. But he will at least come on the adventures with me. He is a Springer Cross, as I said. He was supposed to be a Sprocker, but I very quickly learned that there was more in him than that. So one Christmas I did get a dog DNA kit, so I know his exact makeup. He is 50% Springer, 25% Golden Retriever, 24% Cocker, and he does also have 1% of a breed called Field Spaniel, which is like a spaniel-sized Irish Wolfhound. But yeah, he's absolutely mad for it. He is a typical Springer Spaniel, absolutely wild, as anybody who's owned a Springer before will know, and is often getting himself into mischief. So he's been left home today because he has no road sense, would probably be in the bay right now or chasing ducks. So he's unfortunately been left home today, but he will be coming on the adventure.